Hello again, everybody. This is Big Polly coming to you. We are a few minutes late because I figured out about 25 minutes before I hit the air that I shouldn't be using my OBS Streamlabs for this Twitch stream because I have it all set up to for everything I do on Twitch I do on YouTube. So I just did some last minute reshuffling and I'm going to check real fast to ensure that I am now up and running. So if you will just bear with me for a moment, we will still have plenty of time to get to our very first Random Acts of OOTP is the name of the video that we are about to do. And let me come over here so I don't hear anything that you shouldn't be hearing. The episode name is going to be Random Acts of OOTP Part 1, the $2,000, not the $2,000, but the 2000 home run outfield. And we'll show you why this is true in just a moment. I am just checking things here at the last moment, and again, my profound apologies. I'm an older fella, so this doesn't always work the way it should, especially when you're my age. So if you will all just stand by here for a moment, I am checking to see if I am up and running before I do anything else. And if I can hear myself before I do anything else. And if I success! We're ready to go. So again, this very first episode of Random Acts of OOTP. I'm going to have to do a lot of editing on Twitch before this is over. It is going to be called the 2000 Home Run Infield. And what we're doing with this series is we are doing different leagues here and there that I create to show you how easy it is on OOTP to create the league of your choice. And we'll play a few games. And let's see now. It is 6:08 Eastern Time. So I didn't do too badly. I wasn't too late. But here we are. And I will introduce this league to you. And it's probably best if I just go to the league and teams. And you can see over here on the left of your screen, this is what I call the Classic Retro Baseball League. And what I mean by that is there are 16 teams, and they represent for the most part, the original franchises of Major League Baseball, the 16 that came into the league prior to its expansion in 1961 and 1962. There are 8 teams in the American League, there are 8 teams in the National, and there is one city to a team, or one team to one city. So that takes care of 14 of the teams where they are now. So I had to move 2 teams. For instance, I moved Chicago. I made them the Milwaukee Brewers, and they stayed in the American League. And with the A's, I moved them back to Kansas City. And we can't put them in Royal Stadium, so I put them back at Kansas City Municipal Stadium, which was where the Kansas City A's played. So I went back to the future and called them the Kansas City A's. Now look at this lineup here about mid-upper right of your screen, and look at the first 3 players I got. I was very lucky in the draft to get Ken Griffey Jr., very young Ken Griffey Jr. at 19 years of age, Hank Aaron, and Barry Bonds. Hank Aaron's about the 1970 Hank Aaron, because when you do a random league, the first year you will get players from all different parts of their career. So I have Ken Griffey Jr. playing the season he was 19, which I think was 1990. Hank Aaron played. This is his Hank Aaron is. This Hank Aaron is from 1970, and Barry Bonds is the Barry Bonds who is just wrapping up his career with. Let's see here, the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he's like about 25 or 26 here. It's long before he becomes a home run demon. Now, the one problem I'm going to have setting things up this way is I can't see you all in the chat. If anybody is there to chat with me, and you shouldn't have heard that. Maybe I'll get kicked off of Twitch and that'll solve all my problems. Sorry, folks.
Of
Now you're hearing me again in duplicate. And now I have a chat set up. I have gone to my Twitch channel. So if I just turn this on and I mute myself, then I should be able to see you all chatting with me if you so choose. So this is not a Twitter, but a Twitch exclusive, which I am recording as well, and I will eventually put this on YouTube and my Facebook group page. My Facebook group page, by the way, is Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims, and that's the name I go under on when I game on YouTube. I focus in on the low-tech board games and low-tech sports computer games, and that's kind of my little cup of tea and my jam. So we'll play a game here, but we should first show you a few of the rules I have set up. Like for instance, we will look at the financials. I give everybody double what they would generically get. Like the media contract would be 35, I get them 70. The local media contract baseline would be 40, I give them 80, because there are 16 teams in the league, and I figure just double everything. Merchandising revenue is 40%, and what I forgot to do and I wanted to show you, and this kind of works nicely for me, is I give a set percentage of income at 100%. So all the income is equally divided among the 16 teams, so that kind of cuts out the haves and have-nots kind of helps to separate the haves and have-nots from Major League Baseball. I do not use the reserve era clause, but I do have a 10-year free agency period. If you play 10 years, then you could get free agency. So we slow down free agency a little bit. And if you don't want costs to skyrocket in your universe, you might want to consider doing this one thing. Look at the lower right of your screen here where it says minimum player salary. In real life, the minimum player salary for Major League Baseball players is $550,000. I set it to a tenth of that, $55,000, so that kind of keeps salaries down. I reset the service time for all players, so everybody is a rookie. So the teams are going to make a lot of money. I control the Los Angeles Dodgers. Get your Farmer John's hot dogs. I lived in Las Vegas for a little bit and got to hear the not late great. God, let's not wish that on him. But the great Vin Scully, who was just wishing Willie Mays a 90th birthday today. And we're going to play a game right now against the Chicago Cubs. Mercy me. Don't put Vin Scully in the grave, whatever you do. So we'll check the lineups here for the Cubs. It's Gwynn in left field. That is the Tony Gwynn. Lynn Larry at short. Joe Cronin at third. Cy Seymour at center. Andre Ethier at right. Mike Lavalier catching. Dan Dreesen at first. Johnny Evers at second. Aaron Harang is your pitcher. And in this league, by the way, both leagues have the pitchers hit. Because it's kind of old school, new school. Ken Griffey Jr. leading off for the Dodgers. He's in center. Hank Aaron in right. Barry Bonds in left. So get by those three hitters, you have done something. Gus Triandos is the catcher. Jack Stivitz at first base, who I just acquired in a trade. Exchanged him to the Yankees for Andre Thornton. Chris Coughlin at second. Todd Frazier at third. Willie McGill is the pitcher, because Dave Roberts is my manager, and he likes to have the pitchers hitting eighth. And Roy Smalley the third is the shortstop. So let's go to Dodger Stadium. Grab some Farmer John's hot dogs. There we go. Like to use the default setting. And I don't use the dynamic action. I just like to keep an eye on the ball. And we'll play some baseball here for a couple of hours. Series between the Cubs with Tony Gwynn leading off. And this is a random entry draft league. So you'll see players from all eras playing in the modern era. And let's just start this game. McGill against Gwynn. First game at home. We have played 9 games with the Dodgers in this season so far. We're 3-6. 8-team league. Best 2 teams make it to the pennant series, and then the two winners play for the World Series. That's a line drive to the shortstop. Smalley snags it, and there is one out. Lynn Larry facing McGill now. See what he does. Grounded to the third baseman, who eats it. And that's going to be a single, I believe, for Larry. Joe Cronin, the new hitter for the Cubs, who I believe played most of his career with the Red Sox. If you will stand by for a moment. And the audio goes out because I was just changing a couple of things. Strike three, and Cronin gone. The one problem with getting Bonds, Griffey, and Aaron is my pitching staff stinks. My best pitcher is Fernando Valenzuela, but it's 1984 Fernando Valenzuela. So with two out, we have Cy Seymour at the plate, 57 contact and power. And that's a base hit. Runner moving to third. Throw. Safe. So runners at the corners are two outs now for the Cubs. And Andre Ethier up. That sounded good. A base hit. That's a gapper to the left center field. One run will score. Here comes another. And he's in. Two runs double for Seymour. And it's the Cubs seeing more with the 2-0 lead, with the two-out double by Seymour. Actually, it was Andre Ethier. Mike Lavalier, better known as Spanky. That's a little duck snort. Holds up for a base hit to the center fielder. And that one was an out. That was Ethier advancing from second to home, but he was out by a country mile. So 2 runs and 4 hits for the Cubs, and we will go to the bottom of the first. A 2-0 lead for the Cubbies. And here's where things get interesting as I turn my audio down a little bit, my sound, my game sound. Doing all of this on the fly, folks, because I had to think of a plan to broadcast this on Twitch and not broadcast this on YouTube. I just figured it out like about a half hour before I got started. So the next time you see this episode, which will probably be next Thursday night around 6 o'clock, Lord willing, and if the creek doesn't rise, we'll have a better setup for you all, with my apologies. Griffey, your new hitter, facing Harang. He's leading off for Los Angeles. He hits it to the third baseman over to first with plenty of time to spare, and there's one out. Hank Aaron, your new hitter. And it won't just be this league we do. If I have the fancy to do like a replay of 1971, we'll do it. And this is just to show you, this is just to demonstrate and give you all an idea of what OOTP and their great series of games. It is the best baseball game by far. The strengths of it outweigh the weaknesses by a wide margin. Here's Aaron. Third baseman gets this one, but he fumbles it for an error. And Aaron is aboard, and here comes Barry Bonds with his 100 power. He strikes out, and there are 2 outs in the 4th for Gus Triandos. Triandos has had a good start in my league. 367, 4 homers, 6 ribbies. See if we can get a hold of one here. Most of the games in this league, because I use the generic, the fictional scheduler, are played at night, but I set this one for day because it was the home opener for the Dodgers. Willie McGill and Dan Dreesen opposing each other. Dreesen is the 7-hitter for Chicago, hitting first, playing first, and that's ball 4. So he goes to first, so maybe I was just a little premature there. It's now Johnny Evers up for the Cubbies with a runner at first, nobody out. The pitcher will probably have to bunt unless there's a double play ball. And speak of the devil, actually it was set up as a double play, but they only get the out at second. Looking to bunt will probably be Aaron Harang here. And there it is, right down the third base line. Going to get the out at first? They can. So Harang does his job and advances the runner at second. They'll get one shot at a run here with 2 outs. in the top of the second for Tony Gwynn. 89 contact, only 23 power, and he struck out. We'll go to the bottom of the second, still 2-0 in favor of Chicago. Was doing a game from my perfect team last night on YouTube, and I nearly had a triple play in that. And if you play OOTP 22 Perfect Team, my team is the Big Paulie's Bombers. So Harang now faces Jack Stivitz, who I just traded for before I started this particular run. He's got 61 contact, 64 power. I used a 1-to-100 system, like Madden. And like the show, I think. That's a grounder to the shortstop in time, and there is one out now in the bottom of the second. Now facing Harang is Chris Coughlin at second base. I believe he plays for the Mets. He's struck out. And now 2 out for Todd Frazier, who hopefully won't go down because the pitcher comes next. Sharply hit, a base hit to right. And now the Dodgers are in the unfortunate position of having their pitcher hit. McGill so far 0 for 2 at the plate in his plate appearances. And we let the pitchers hit here in this league. Well hit to left, but it's going to stay in the park for the third out. And the Dodgers get their first hit of the inning, and they trail 2-0 as we head to the third. Here's Lynn Larry facing Willie McGill. McGill a 9.31 ERA in his first couple of starts. That's ball 4. 1 on and nobody out in the third. I'm going to very quickly check and see if we got anybody who has come by, and nope. Okay, back to play. Should have done that between innings. Cronin now up. Let's see if I can get a double play here. Well, it's going to be 1 out. No, it's a pop fly. It's a pop fly to the catcher, and he records the out. Willie McGill against Cy Seymour here. With 1 out, top of the third. We should have in time to get the series in. Grounded to first, double play. 3-6-3 double play to end the inning. So the Cubs pick up no more in the third, and we go to the bottom of the third, 2-1. Here's Roy Smalley Jr. Remember, he is the 9 hitter in this lineup. I just play the games. I'm the general manager of the team. I do not make managerial decisions because what GM does. Ken Griffey Jr., as we go back to the top of the order, he's at the plate. That is a slow grounder to the short, and he's going to make it for an infield hit. That brings up Hank Aaron. They tried to hit and run, but it didn't work as that ball hung in the air long enough for the center fielder to catch it. They throw over to first, but Griffey was back way ahead of time. That brings up Barry Bonds, who is hitting .225 in 40 at-bats, but he has 5 homers and 8 ribbies, and his OBS right now, 919. I'd say he's having a good year. That gets past the catcher. Griffey will go to second. Don't know if that was a wild pitch or a pass ball, because it could be either. Bonds, with first base open, gets a pitch to hit. This is going to hang in the air, and it will be a pop fly by Larry. Larry made the catch. He is the shortstop, I believe. So it's 2-0 going to the fourth now in this first game of a series. Try to play the series out for you. Want to get the stream over with by 8 o'clock. It's now 6:25 on the East Coast. Andre Ethier back up for the Cubbies. He strikes out. McGill with 3 strikeouts and 3 in the third. Back to Spanky LaValliere. That is ball 4 as he held up or so claimeth the third base umpire. Or was it the first base umpire? I do not know. Dreesen up. That's a pop fly. Catcher and the third baseman closest to it, but the third baseman makes the put out, which was Frazier. And Johnny Evers now up, as Chicago has now almost gotten to the pitcher's spot in the order. That's popped up. Will it stay in play? Third baseman over. He makes the catch just in front of the dugout. Actually, no, just in front of the tarp in left field. So a quiet inning for the Cubbies, and the Dodgers come back. I love this sound effect. I love this let's go sound effect. I wish one of these days I'm going to try to isolate it on the either WAV or MP4 file. I'm going to use it at some point in my life. Let's go. Triandos now up in the fourth. Slow grounder just in front of the catcher. He throws to first and gets the put out. Harang now facing Jack Stivitz. Wasn't doing well when he was with the Yankees, but we traded for him because I thought Andre Thornton, with his low contact ranking and his high power ranking, would not be a good fit in Dodger Stadium. And that's a grounder to third over to first. 2 outs now. Chris Coghlan now up. Strike three it is. And again, the Dodgers put their fourth goose egg up on the box score in a row. Into 4, Cubs 2, Dodgers nothing. And I'm going to pause for a moment. Check out if anybody is on to say hello to me, but not to be, but that's fine. Willie McGill faces Aaron Harang, pitcher against pitcher. Start the 5th inning. That's a grounder to the third baseman. He throws to first. 1 out. Gwynn now up, third time through the order for the Cubbies. And here's McGill, he deals. Grounder to the second baseman over to first, 2 gone. Lynn Larry up for the Cubbies. He's their starting shortstop. Ooh, popped fly that could carry and could drop in between the both of them. But it's Coghlan who makes the grab. And the side's retired. We're halfway through this game, unless we go extras. And by the way, the rules are traditional baseball rules. We do not put a runner at second into 10th. We do not allow relievers to have to face 3 batters. It's old-time baseball here, folks. Using players of today and yesterday. Herring against Frazier to start the bottom of the 5th for the Dodgers. Grounder. Oh, just got by the second baseman for a base hit. So up goes Frazier. Willie McGill will have to bunt here, I would think. And he does. It's a grounder to third. Only play to first. And it's in time, and Evers moves to second. So a base hit here, and you're looking at a 2-1 game maybe. Here's Roy Smalley. Sharply hit deep to right. Could it go? It does. And we are tied. Roy Smalley the third. That jumped off his bat like a laser beam. It went 413 feet. And we are now even at 2-2. In fact, both teams now with 4 hits. And the Cubbies with the only error. Ken Griffey Jr. now up. And here's the benefit of having Smalley hitting 9th is you go right to your power hitters. Harang will now deal with Jr. And a strikeout. That's 2 outs now. But it doesn't get any easier for the Cubbies as Hank Aaron comes to the plate, who we get for a few years. I think he had about 6 more years left of playing time before his career came in an end in 1976 with 755 home runs. By the way, the side has been retired. We go to the 6th, and it's 2-2. We'll keep an eye on possible relievers and possible defensive moves here from the rest of the game on. Joe Cronin facing Willie McGill, who has been on the mound now 5 innings, has walked 3 and struck out 3. Cronin scored 9 runs, 4th in the National League at the moment. And Cronin hits this one well. Left fielder giving it chase, but he makes the putout. That is Bonds, Barry Bonds. Cy Seymour now up. 1 out, top of the 6th. Ball 4. That was a little inside. We go right to the culminating pitch in Out of the Park Baseball, but you could set it up to where you could watch every pitch of the game, should you want to. You just go to this part of the screen, look right below and to the right of the base icons, and it says pitch by pitch. And if you activate that button, you see every pitch of the game. Andre Ethier now up. They had a hit and run on, and the third baseman, that was too hot to handle for him. Everybody safe. And let's see, they will call that a hit, an infield hit for the Cubs, not an error. And that brings up Spanky LaValliere, played for the Pittsburgh Pirates in real life. Pitch to him, a grounder to third, over to second for 1, over to first. A 5-4-3 double play. So the Dodgers get out of that jam. And we now go to the bottom of the 6th. It's a 2-2 tie. Barry Bonds facing Harang, who's been out there now 5 innings, 7 strikeouts. Hit the center, but a little too fat. And Seymour made the putout in center field. Just hung in the air, just a little too much. Gus Triandos now up for the Cubbies not for the Cubbies, but for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 6th. He can mash. Grounder to the first baseman. The pitcher comes over to collect it, and there are now 2 outs. Bringing up Jack Stivitz. That holds up for a base hit. Stivitz aboard. Chris Coughlin will be the new hitter, as you have a very busy organ grinder playing 2 songs at the same time. Well, that takes some coordination. Coughlin now facing Harang. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Grounder to second base, over to first, and the Dodgers do not score anything in the bottom of the 6th. We're on Twitch, so if Take Me Out to the Ball Game plays, I'm going to let it play. Drew Steckenrider, the new reliever for the Dodgers, to face Dan Driesen. And we'll keep an eye when the Cubs get to their 9 hole for a pinch hitter. Harang's been pitching well, but it's a tie ball game, and they might need that little extra oomph at the plate. There's a strikeout. Steckenrider off to a good start. He's now facing Johnny Evers, lefty against a righty. Grounded to first, he takes it to the bag all by himself. 2 outs, top of the 7th. Get ready to stretch. Dale Mitchell is the pinch hitter for Chicago. 83 contact hitter, 17 power, 32 I against righties, 86, 17, and 30. He's 2 for 6 so far on the season for the .333 clip, and his on base is .762. Base hit, so Mitchell gives the Cubs a chance with 1 out to get left in the top of the 7th. Tony Gwynn hits this well to center, and Seymour with a diving catch. No, it was Ken Griffey Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. What a play by Griffey Jr. to show his agility. And we will now go to the bottom of the 7th with a 2-2 tie. Scott Shields is the reliever for Chicago. And he has pitched 5 1/3, 169 on the ERA, only giving up 2 hits. so his opposing batting average has got to be very low. Frazier, Steckenrider, which will probably be a pinch hitter, and Smalley will be the hitters for the Dodgers, at least in the bottom of the seventh, perhaps more. Ball 4. So this is going to set the table nicely for the pinch hitter, which is going to be Pete Gilbert, 1 for 9 on the year, 111. Excellent bunter, and he can whirl around the bases with a 91 speed ranking and a steal rating of 100. Ball 4. So Scott has gotten himself in a little bit of a spot here. Shields now facing Royce Smalley, who just hit a home run to tie the game in his last trip to the plate. This is a slow grounder to second, but it is timed enough to get the double play. So a runner moves to third, Frazier, for Ken Griffey Jr., and Shields could walk a man here if he wants, but he'll pitch to him. Ball 4. He didn't give him anything to hit. Problem is, if you walk Griffey, you got to deal with Hank Aaron, and if you walk him, you got to deal with Barry Bonds. And Aaron hits this well to left. Does it have enough? It does! A home run for the Hammer. 5-2 Dodgers. Hank was known for hitting a few of those. Of course, he hit his famous 715th home run off of Al Downing against the Dodgers in Atlanta. So Barry Bonds now up, a 5-2 lead. See what happens here. Forgot to note if Shields was still pitching. No, that's down the right field line, a base hit. Bonds quickly rounding first, heading to second. He's in there with a double for sure. Justin DeFreitas is the new Cubs pitcher who came in after the home run was hit. Gus Triandos now up. Strike 3. He struck him out. So the Cubs finally get out of the seventh, but the damage was done. It's 5-2 Dodgers as we head to the eighth. Hope you all are enjoying everything. Lynn Larry now up, facing Dave Smith. Dodgers closer, by the way, is the shooter, Rod Beck. There's a strikeout for Smith. 1 gone, top of the eighth. We have Joe Cronin now up. Grounder to third. Over to first. 2 outs. Cy Seymour, the new hitter for the Cubbies, who I mistaked for Ken Griffey Jr. That's a grounder to first. To the pitcher, I beg your pardon. He throws to first. See, I was a little ahead of myself. 3 up and 3 down for the Cubbies in the eighth, but now the Dodgers try to consolidate the lead a little bit, up 5-2. Emil Cush, the new Cubs pitcher. And he has not given up an earned run yet in 5 innings pitched. Good movement on his pitches. 70 overall, 73 against righties. So we'll see what happens here. Stivitz swings a grounder to shortstop. Looked like the shortstop might have bobbled it for just a moment, but the throw to first base in time. Chris Coughlin, the new hitter, playing second base. Let's go. Popped it up, and the left fielder will get it. Gwynn, and that is now 2 outs in the eighth. Todd Frazier, unofficially 4:01. We started this game at 1:05 in simulated time. That's a strikeout. So Cush, another scoreless inning for him. And now we bring out the shooter, Rod Beck, who is 2 innings pitched, ERA of 4.50, 3 hits. Good stuff, good movement, good control. 95-97 velocity. Can hold the runners well. We'll see if he can get the Dodgers a win here. All they need is 3 outs before the Cubs get 3 runs. Here's Ethier facing Beck. Oh, that's sharply hit down the right field line for the base hit. Ethier thinks about going to second. He does, and he is well safe. Not a good start for the shooter. Here's Mike LaValliere. Dreesen, Evers, and the pitcher spot, the next 3 hitters. That's a grounder to short that's going to hold the runner at second. They go the first for the first out of the 9th. Dan Dreesen, your new hitter. With 1 out. Dreesen. Down the line, a base hit. That's going to bring in a run. Bonds getting over to the ball as fast as he can. Dreesen going for 3. He's safe. So now the tying run on. It's 5-3. And we got Johnny Evers up. His power is a 66, so he could get a hold of one here. To first base. 2 outs. So another shaky closing effort by Beck. Win, lose, or draw because he's already given up a run here in the 9th. Here is Art Whitney. Art Whitney 1 for 2. A good speed demon, but he's got a little bit of power at 63. And that is a duck snort to left field for a base hit. It's 5-4. Let's see how far Whitney got. It was a single for him. Tony Gwynn now up. I'm sure they're going to try a hit and run here. And it's a grounder to first, and this game is over. The Dodgers hold on and get a victory, 5-4. And that's how that ended. Cubs nearly came back and got it. Aaron Harang, the player of the game, even though he didn't lose the game. He got a no decision. Shields got the decision, a loss. He's 1-1. Steckenmeyer got the win, 1-0. Beck the save. Smith the hold. Of course, the big blast by Hank Aaron made it 5-2. So what I'm going to do, because I was mentioning Kansas City, the Kansas City A's, and this is a Saturday. Maybe they just played a game on TV. What do you say? See if they're at home, and we'll show you that. No, they're playing the Yankees. Wanted to show you all Kansas City's field. Municipal Stadium, but we'll just have to do that another time. So we will just play out our next game, the Cubbies and the Dodgers, a Saturday night game, and then the Cubs have a day off, and then they play the Giants. We are 38 minutes into the stream, so we have a lot of time left to show you some games. Okay, so Gary Matthews Jr. is going to play center field in this game. They kind of have a little platoon going. When the lefty is in, they put Gary Matthews Jr. in. But when it's a righty, it has been Ken Griffey Jr. So we'll go through the lineups again. There are worst changes on both sides. Gwynn, left field. Dreesen, first base. Cy Seymour at center. Joe Cronin is a cleanup playing shortstop. Ethier is in right field. Art Whitney, third, who we just saw. Pinch hit. And Evers is at second. Con Daly is the catcher. Teddy Higuera pitching for the Cubs. For the Dodgers, we were saying there were a few changes in the lineup, and we'll go through them now. Matthews Jr., center field. Hank Aaron in right. Bonds in left. Jack Stivitz, first base. He's the cleanup man. Gilbert at third. Smalley at shortstop. Driandos catching. Barker, Len Barker, to a perfect game for the Indians in 1981. He is your pitcher. Coughlin at second. So my manager, Dave Roberts, likes to use the pitcher in the 8-hole. 58 degrees, a little brisk at Dodger Stadium, but this game being played in April, so that would make sense. And we'll look at the stats real fast. Cubbies are 7-4, Dodgers at 4-7. They started the year, I believe, 0-6, so the Dodgers have picked up the pace a little bit. And let's show you what nighttime looks at my little model of Dodger Stadium here. There you go. Not too different, right? Let's see if anything going on with the Twitch feed. And no. So we'll get you back to the game here, which hasn't started. It's Barker against Tony Gwynn, as the text will go through the introductory messages. Hoping all is well with all of you watching on Twitch. We'll have this up later on YouTube. And Gwynn with an infield hit to start the game. And we will have this up on on YouTube tomorrow at 8:30. Be working on some fights tomorrow night on YouTube. We use Glory Days Boxing. And it's Dan Dreesen now up in the first inning with nobody out. Ball 4, so runners at first and second, and Barker already in a spot. Let's recheck one more thing. There we go. Cy Seymour, the new hitter. 2 on, nobody out. And Seymour hits this well, but Bonds got to it, and the runners moved up. Or Gwynn moved up to third. Dreesen stayed at first. Here's Joe Cronin. Grounded to the shortstop, over the second for 1, over the first, double play, and the Dodgers escape without surrendering a run. Bottom of the first now, Teddy Higuera. And remember, in the first year of a random league, you get players from all points in their careers. He is Mexican. He's from Los Mochis. And in this, he is 28 years old. Here is Gary Matthews Jr. Strike 3, 1 out, very quickly in the Dodger first in this second game of 2, and we'll probably play a few games with the Giants before we leave the airwaves. Hank Aaron, the hitter. Hammer and Hank. Saw him hit the home run earlier. He strikes out. Barry Bonds. We'll see what he does here. Looked like it jammed him on the fist. Shortstop to first for the third out of the inning. 1, 2, 3 go to Dodgers. We'll go to the second. No score. Andre Ethier up facing Len Barker. Fly ball, center field, 1 out. So Gary Matthews Jr. retired. We now have Art Whitney up. Grounded to third, over the first, 2 outs now. And a base hit by Evers to keep the inning alive for the Cubbies. And a pickoff move ends the inning. Such a good pickoff move, I didn't even see it. Higuera facing Stivitz to start the second for the Dodgers. And LA gets a base runner on the walk. Pete Gilbert. Pop fly to left. Gwynn has it. 1 out, bottom of the second. Smalley in. Actually, that was the pitcher. Smalley got a nice little jolt out of this, and it is gone. It carried the right. And Smalley has hit a home run in back-to-back games that we know of. And it's 2-0 in favor of the Dodgers. Nicely done. And we could show you a replay of that, I think. You'll just have to trust me on that. That was majestically hit. Replay, play-by-play. Here we go. We'll show you this again. And look at the ball jump off of Smalley's bat. And that's a replay of what just happened. I feel like Lindsey Nelson during the Army-Navy game of '63. So we're back to live action, and Gus Triando's at the plate. Fly to left. This could be back-to-back home runs. It is. Triandos with a nice little clout to left, and it's 3-0. The ball went 400 feet. And the air horn guy getting a lot of work. Len Barker now up, the pitcher. So the pitcher did not hit yet. Now he did. And Barker is walked. So Higuera having all kinds of trouble getting it over the plate. And when he's getting it over the plate, he's getting smoked. Okay, I thought the pitcher was hitting because it was Smalley. Smalley, when he's facing right, he's usually bats ninth, so I apologize for that error. Chris Coughlin's the ninth hitter. That's well hit to right. Another one? No, it's an out. It was a pop fly to out. Bit of an optical illusion on that one. As the LA crowd, again, exhorts the Dodgers to let's go, let's go. That's well hit. That's a gapper to left center. We'll watch the runners. Barker's going to hold at third. Well, he's a pitcher, wisely so. Hank Aaron, the hitter. And did Aaron get enough of that? Yes, it did. Base hit. One scores. It's 4-0. Barry Bonds hitting. Can he get a home run here and make it 7? Nope. Base is loaded with the walk. Teddy Higuera is still in the game. Cubs manager's got to have the hook ready for sure by now. Jack Stiffitt's up. That's hit. Will it drop? No. The shortstop gets to it for the out. And that was the third out, and the Dodgers leave the bases loaded. But a good inning for them as they score 4. 4-0 going to the third. Here's Con Daly, the catcher. And Daly with the pop-up. Caught by the center fielder. 1 out. Teddy Higuera. Strike 3. 2 outs. Tony Gwynn, as we go back to the top of the order. Higuera staying in, I suppose. Grounded to the second baseman over the first. And a good series of innings here for the Dodgers as 3 shutout innings have been thrown so far by Len Barker. 2 hits, though, so don't have any ideas of this being a perfect game. 4-0 will go to Pete Gilbert. Gilbert, base hit, and Gilbert can scoot. He gets to first and holds there with a single. Roy Smalley, the third, playing short. Smalley, another base hit. That moves the runners to first and second. Gilbert had designs on perhaps going to third, but the throw got back to the infield by then. Gus Triandos, 5 homers so far on the season with the one he just hit in his last at bat. See what happens here. Shortstop. A 4-6-3 double play. Bringing up Len Barker, who walked his last at bat. A 2-contact hitter and 8 power. That's not good. So the Dodgers threaten but do not score. We go to the 4th. 4-0. Here's Dan Dreesen. Played with the Cincinnati Reds mostly. Grounded to first, over to the bag, 1 out. Cy Seymour now up to face Barker. Sounded good off his bat. It's a base hit to right. Looked like the second baseman could have gotten to it, but he did not. Joe Cronin now up. Dodgers probably will set up for the double play here. Strike 3, so 2 outs now. In the 4th. For not for Lenny Barker, but for Andre Heath here. Over to first. That's the 3rd out. So again, another goose egg for the Cubs. Dodgers leading 4-0. Here is Coughlin, the 9-hitter, and then we go back to the top of the order. 4-3 on the putout there. Gary Matthews Jr., son of the Sarge. Second baseman, getting busy. That's the 2nd assist he has made this inning. Hank Aaron up. Popped up, catcher. No, it goes to the first baseman. And we go to the 5th now with the score 4-0. Higuera's still in. Len Barker, 4 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Grounder to the second baseman, but there was an error. And Art Whitney goes to second on the error. So we'll call that E4, I suppose. Johnny Evers now up. With a very fast Art Whitney at second base. Whitney easily goes over to third on the slow ground ball to the second baseman. Con Daly, your hitter. Con is hitting 300, despite some low hitting ratings. He's got an OPS right now of 1117. He has had 10 at-bats. 1 homer, 4 ribbies. Grounder to the second baseman. Over to first. And now Con Daly has 5 ribbies. 4-1. Here is Teddy Higuera. This should be an easy out. He holds up. A walk. Bite my tongue. Tony Gwynn now up. Top of the 5th. 2 outs for Lenny Barker. Holds up into the air long enough to be a base hit to right. And that's runners at the corners now. Higuera with a little oomph gets to third. And now it's Dan Dreesen, the last hope for the Cubbies, in the 5th. And this is skied to left. Bonds underneath it. Can of corn. And we will go to the bottom of the 5th with the score 4-1. Barry Bonds leading off. 227 and 918 OPS. Which is what all the cool kids look at, is the OPS. They don't look at the other stats. And Bonds, with the walk, goes to first base, where he's a 71 speed and a 78 stealing. Jack Stivitz, your new hitter. Stivitz, little air under that. Home run! And it's 6-1. Dodgers teeing off on Teddy Higuera. And Mike Parrott has entered the game. He is your new Cubs pitcher. He's a righty. Seems to have good stuff. He's 60 against righties. 11 innings pitched, 16 strikeouts, so he's got a little gas on him. Pete Gilbert, your new hitter. For the Cubbies. For the Dodgers, I beg your pardon. Grounder, that was a line shot to right field for a base hit. And the Dodgers looking for more here in the bottom of the 5th. Here is Roy Smalley. Grounder to the second baseman, threw it to the shortstop, over to first. And that was a 4-6-3 double play. Gus Triandos, your new hitter. He's already got 5 homers on the year. Grounded to short, 3 outs. So the Dodgers pick up 2 more, and it's 6-1 as we go to the 6th. Might have time for 2 more games tonight. Cy Seymour popped it up. Center field over for the first out. Put out being made by Gary Matthews Jr. Here's Joe Cronin. That's a ball. Actually, if we are past an hour and a half, when we get past the first San Francisco game, we'll just shut it down there. We'll go an hour and a half. Because I have other streams to do tonight on YouTube. Andre Ethier is your new hitter for the Cubbies. Strike 3. He's out of there. Art Whitney now up for the Cubbies. No, I don't use the face gen. Except I just use the face gen that's in the game. I'm not too worried about how everybody looks. Doesn't hinder me getting into the mood for these games. So Barker serving up Whitney again. That was a nice sound off the bat. But right to Aaron for the putout. No runs in the 6th for the Cubbies. And it's 6-1. Len Barker, the pitcher, probably stay in the game. He has not had a bad day at the plate. He got that walk in his first at bat, but he gets the strikeout there. A more likely result. Chris Coughlin now up for the Dodgers. He's the 9 hitter because Dave Roberts likes to use a pitcher 8th. Oh, that right by the wickets of the first baseman. Down the line, Coughlin. Let's see. Will he get 3? He will get 2, and that's it. You'll get 2 and like it. That brings up Gary Matthews Jr. By the way, he's hitting .417 when he's filling in for the kid. Strike 3, 2 outs. Hank Aaron, 4 homers, 11 RBIs. He's hitting .306 so far in my season. His OPS 930. And I'm not talking about a time either. Grounded to the shortstop over the first. You saw it. And we go to the 7th. It's 6-1. Cubs will have to get busy against Len Barker. Here's Johnny Evers. Have you ever heard the song Tinkers to Evers to Chance? He was the Evers in it. That's a walk. And we'll have to watch closely, see how long Barker stays in. He's at 93 pitches. Con Daly, the new hitter for the Cubbies. That's a stolen base attempt. Going to be close, but he's in there. Evers, that is his first steal of the year. In the lineup, only 3 players have had 1 stolen base. The Dodgers haven't had anybody steal a base in the lineup. Here's Daly. That's a strikeout. 1 gone, top of the 7th for Lynn Larry. Hello, Larry. He's pinch hitting. Grounded to third, over to first. 2 outs now, so we'll see a new pitcher for the Cubbies. Beg your pardon. Johnny Niggling is your pinch hitter. And that's fly to center for the out. Enjoy a little take me out to the ball game, everybody. I thought the song was going to play out all the way. Oh, well. Bottom of the 7th. It's 6-1 in favor of the Dodgers. Barry Bonds now up. And we'll get you the new pitcher in just a moment. But Bonds, did he get enough of that? No, it was a fly to the center fielder. Cy Seymour. We have ML Cush in the game again. pitched in our last game. Jack Stivitz, your new hitter for the Dodgers. Grounder to third, over to first, routine play. Or was it? Yes, it was. 2 out. Pete Gilbert, the 5-hitter. And let's see what Gilbert did there. That's another grounder for an out. We've played 7 at 6-1 in favor of the Dodgers. Dan Dreesen facing Johnny Niggling. If Kansas City has a home game, I want to show you Municipal Stadium. Cy Seymour up. See, sometimes I stumble over my words. Seymour quickly down. 2 outs. Niggling still in there. Facing Joe Cronin. Niggling, by the way, I got in the trade. That was a grounder just past the second baseman for a base hit. And Cronin at first. I got Niggling because he had good stamina. He's got 94 stamina, and that's why you'd want to put him in as a reliever. Give you a few innings. And this is a situation with a 6-1 lead where you want a few innings from your reliever. Andre Ethier now up. Old-time baseball. Cubs go down in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 6-1. Smalley. Grounded to short, over to first, 1 out. A 6-1 Dodger lead. I think if they win here, they go to 500. Shortstop to first on that ground ball. 2 outs. Here's Ken Griffey Jr., who's pinch hitting for Johnny Niggling. Hit well to right, but it looks like it's going to stay in the park. No, it's a home run. In fact, Griffey blasted that one past the initial box of the seats. And Griffey with a pinch hit homer, and it's 7-1. We will show you the replay on that since I butchered the replay. I butchered the play-by-play on that. Yeah, he hit it well. I didn't trust where the right fielder was, and yeah, that's a touch 'em all. Chris Coughlin now up 7-1, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. So 7-1. Yeah, I think I'm going to show you a different game. Because the Dodgers will be off on this Sunday. Tom Hall. Don't confuse him with the country singer Tom T. Hall. I don't want to do just all Dodgers games, so if they have the day off, I'll show you a different game. If anybody's playing. Here is Johnny Evers. Tom T. Hall was a nice little country singer in the 70s. He had a song called I Love, and he would talk about I love coffee and cups. Con Daly now up. Last chance for the Cubbies. And that's it. That's a Dodger win. 7-1. And let's see. Oh, they're 5-7. They are 5-7. Player of the game was Len Barker, who pitched 6 2/3, 4 hits, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. And hitting home runs were Stivitz, Smalley, Triandos, and Ken Griffey Jr. in a pinch hit capacity. Batting around, 10 men came to the plate against the Cubs in the second. Yeah, they had a very busy inning. So let's show you another game, shall we? Since the Dodgers are off, we're going to show you Kansas City and the Yankees. We'll try to do this every once in a while. We'll show you other games. We'll go through the lineups. Greg Jeffries at second for the A's, the Kansas City A's. Don Locke at right field. Fred McGriff, first base. Jerry Denny at third. Ron Hansen, your shortstop, once made the unassisted triple play and was the for about a 25-year period, that was the last triple play in Major League Baseball, an assisted triple play. Bernie Williams at center field, he's better known as a Yankee. Jonathan Lucroy at catcher. Fred Schulte, left field. And Max Scherzer is your pitcher. I know most of you are aware of him. For the Yankees, Pete Rose, the hit king. He is in right field. Ping Bodie at left, Hans Lobert at third, Robinson Cano second base, John Romano catching, Whit Conroy at short, Andre Thornton, who I just traded away, at first base, and the Yankees have a DiMaggio, but it's not Joe, it is Dom. He's playing center field, and Bryn Smith is the pitcher for the Yankees, and we will show you beautiful Yankee Stadium in just a moment. That is the modern Yankee Stadium. The only team playing in a classic park is Kansas City. So Jeffries leading off for Kansas City. Kansas City against Smith. Is that not a beautiful park or what? Of course, the brand new Yankee Stadium came to be in 2009. And it came in the same year as the Mets christened Citi Field. Grounder to the pitcher, over to first. 1 out. Don Locke, the new hitter, he's hitting 191 on the year, so he's better straighten up and fly right for the A's. That's a strikeout. Fred McGriff, the crime dog, well known here in the Tampa Bay area, which I am broadcasting from. He steps up to the plate. Also played for the Tampa Bay Rays, played for Atlanta, played for Toronto and San Diego. So the Yankees, 1-2-3, nothing across. We go to the bottom of the first. No score. Pete Rose. Forgot to look at his stats. He strikes out. In fact, we could just go up here and look at him. 217 so far in the year. And in this league, Pete Rose is 29. So his real-life stats from 1970 are being used. So he has a long career ahead of him in this league. Ping Bodie, the new hitter, was a hitting instructor after his playing days. Hit well to left, but not well enough. Schulte got to it. 2 gone. Hans Lobert now up for the Yanks. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Kansas City. We're scoreless heading to the second. Here is Jerry Denny facing Bryn Smith. That's a hit well to right field, stays in the park, but it falls before the right fielder could get to it. Denny races to second, gets a double. Pete Rose playing right, by the way. Here is Ron Hansen, 43 contact, 72 power, a wild pitch, and that's going to move, wild pitch or a pass ball, that's going to move the runner to third. Ron Hansen still at the plate. Ball 4, so Kansas City, the A's, got something going here. In the second, runners at the corners. Bernie Williams, the new hitter. Shortstop, for, second base to shortstop for 1 out. Denny came in to score 1-0 Kansas City A's. Jonathan Lucroy up to the plate. And that was a double play. Kansas City gets 1 for the 1-0 lead. Robinson Cano up. Smoke down the left field for a base hit. Cano aboard. Bringing up John Romano. Romano got some air under that to left. And it's gone. Bye-bye baseball. John Romano makes it 2-1 Yankees. Whit Conroy, the hitter now for the Yankees with the 2-1 lead. Grounder to second base, over to first. First out. Andre Thornton, Big Mama. There was a blues singer back in the 50s called Big Mama. Center fielder caught that one. 2 outs. Max Scherzer.
Strike 3.
And that was. Let's see what happened on that. Dom DiMaggio was the last hitter that I informed you all as being Max Scherzer. So we go to the third, 2-1, New York. Here's Schulte, or Schult. And that gets to the left fielder on a hop, base hit. A single for Schult, and we go to Max Scherzer in a hitting capacity. It's a bunt. And they go to first to get the out there, so it does its job. Greg Jeffries, your new hitter. Smoked to right. And Rose made the catch in right field. Don Locke, the opposing right fielder, he's hitting now. And that's a strikeout. So Kansas City can't do any damage in the third. We go to the bottom of the third, 2-1. Bryn Smith up. Hung in the air. And it got by the center fielder. What happened there? Smith at second. He will be in with a double. Williams could not get into that one. He probably misjudged the flight path of the ball, thinking there's no way the pitcher's going to hit it to me. Well, guess again. Pete Rose, your new hitter. And that's hit down the left field line, a base hit. Smith already is going to score. And let's see how far Rose got. Rose gets an RBI double, and it's 3-1. We now go to Ping Bodie, 311 on the year. He has 6 homers. Tremendous power. He didn't really play in an era where the power hitter was respected. And he strikes out. So it's 3-1 still. 1 out, bottom of the third. Here is Hans Lobert. Wild pitch. That gets Rose to third. Interesting seeing Pete Rose wearing Yankee pinstripes. Hit to right field for the out. 2 outs. Rose held at third. Didn't want to test the arm of Don Locke, who has a 66 arm. Here is Robinson Cano. Base hit. That scores a run. It's 4-1. So I'm using OBS Studio for your transmission purposes tonight. I will work on the Twitch program for streaming. I was not hearing myself, and I was not seeing any audio on there, so I just pulled up OBS. We got started a little late tonight, about almost 10 minutes past 6, so my apologies again. We'll have a week to get this figured out for next time. I'll probably figure it out in a day. Here's Fred McGriff. McGriff, base hit, up the middle. So the A's looking to recoup some of their losses in these first 3 innings. Here's Jerry Denny, who got on last time. Denny, diving catch by DiMaggio. That's Dom DiMaggio, who in real life played with the Boston Red Sox. Up now, Ron Hansen for Kansas City. And that gets to right field. Actually, no, that was caught by Thornton. 2 outs. And a strike 3. So a strikeout, and Kansas City can't score in the 4th. 4-1, here's Whit Conroy. Sounded good off the bat, but it hung up in the air. And Locke has it for the first out. Andre Thornton. That 87 power, but that 28 contact scared me, and I traded him to the Yankees.
Strike 3.
2 outs now. Bottom of the fourth for Don DiMaggio. 48 contact, 48 power. Probably got him in there for his glove. And DiMaggio to Williams for the third out. We will go to the fifth. It's the Yankees 4 and Kansas City 1. Grounder to short, over for first. 1 out in the Athletic fifth. Fred Schulte. Grounder to right field, and he is aboard. Four to 1. Here's Scherzer at the plate. And that was a sac bunt. Schulte going to second for Greg Jeffries. Popped it up. Still 4-1 as we head to the midway point of the game that we are actually at. Hope you all are enjoying this. Smith now up. Gave the ball a good ride his first time up to the plate, but not this time. Scherzer strikes him out. Scherzer, by the way, as of this moment, this was not been a good start for him. He's at 71 pitches. 19 and a third, 11 hits, 6 earned runs. But look at this, 2 walks, 24 strikeouts. So the Yankees have done something to hit off of him so successfully. And that's a walk for Rose. Rose has a little bit of speed. His steal rating 64. We got Ping Bodie up. Wild pitch. Rose is going to move to second on that. As the catcher goes to the East River. Ping Bodie, still your hitter. That's popped up to right. Or was it? Yes, Locke made the catch. Hans Lobert, good contact and power hitter. In the air to right. And Locke underneath that. We go to the sixth. It's 4-1. Bryn Smith, your new hitter. And that's a walk. Fred McGriff now up. Good thing I kept OBS when I switched to Streamlabs OBS. And I could use that for my my Twitch feed, but I promised everybody this was going to be a Twitch exclusive. So that's why I went through all the falderall. Here is Jerry Denny. That's a gapper, left center. We'll see how far they run. 1 run will score, I would think. Yes. Jerry Denny with the double. Don Locke scoring. And if Ron Hansen can homer, we're looking at a tie game. To center field, DiMaggio has it. That is Don DiMaggio. And Denny moved to third on the sack. Sack fly. So Bernie now up, the last chance for the Kansas City A's in the sixth. Hit the left and out. And we go now to the bottom of the sixth. It's 4-2. Max Scherzer facing Robinson Cano. Strike 3. John Romano facing Max Scherzer still. Romano hit the home run to get the scoring started. And he's hit another. 2 tonight. And he hit that well to center field, 456 feet. And it's 5-2. That brings up Whit Conroy. So we've had a 2-homer game tonight for you on this stream. Conroy makes it 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Here's Andre Thornton.
Strike 3.
He strikes out. Glad he's with the Yankees and not with my team. So we have now played 6. It's 5-2 Yankees. Jonathan LaCroix facing Bryn Smith, who's still in the game going into the 7th. But he was grazed by that pitch in HBP. So we move him to first, and it is Fred Schultz now up.
Strike 3.
He struck out. Smith has had 6 on the game. He's at 81 pitches. Well, that didn't sound good. Home run. No, not a home run. That was the wind knocking it down. Bodie made the catch and left. I accidentally called that a home run. Shame on me. Shame on me. Greg Jeffries now up. Oh, you're going to think I'm nuts when you see this video on YouTube. And the center fielder DiMaggio making the grab. Doesn't that sound like Frank Lieber, the ex-CBS broadcaster who died of a heart attack in the mid-'80s? Well, anyway, Casey Thien is your new Kansas City pitcher. He's going to look at Don DiMaggio, and maybe the Yankees bring in a pinch hitter after him.
Strike 3.
Strike 3. He struck out. Bryn Smith, he's going to stay in it, actually. Maybe he'll go 8, and the Yankees will bring in their closer. He'll face Fiend. Fiend fine foam fum. Smith hits this well into the air, but it's going to be caught by the center fielder Bernie Williams. And it's 2 outs now, bottom of the 7th for Pete Rose. Pete Rose 1 for 2 on the day. His batting average now up to .234. Grounder to short, over to first, and we go to the 8th. 5-2 Yankees. Here is Bryn Smith facing Don Locke. Locke, a base hit to left. So Locke aboard, and we'll see how long the Yankee skipper will stay with Smith. He's staying with him here. Fred McGriff now up, and he could make it a 5-4 game real fast. Extreme shift to the right side of the infield. And that gets through for a base hit. Just gets past the shortstop. So now you got the tying run. Smith is staying in, and it's going to be Jerry Denny, who's already 2 for 3 on the day. His power is a 65.
Strike 3.
And that's a strikeout. Bryn Smith, who I remember from the Montreal Expos in the 80s, he is now done for the day. They'll bring in Tim Worrell. Worrell, 4 1/3 innings pitched. No earned runs, 6 strikeouts. Good control against righties. Not good in stamina, not good at holding runners. So we'll only see him for a spell.
Strike 3.
2 outs now. As Hansen is retired on strikes, we'll go to Bernie Williams. And his .280 batting average. Wild pitch that's going to move the runners up a base. And we'll go again. Full count. And Williams gets... No, he does not. The shortstop just enough range to make the catch. And we will go to the bottom of the 8th with a 5-2 Yankee lead. Thought it'd be nice to do another game other than just the Dodgers. Here is Ping Bodie. And Bodie to right field. Locke had it. 1 out. And we will bring up Hans Lobert to the shortstop. To first. 2 outs. And Robinson Cano.
Strike 3.
Strike 3. So the Yankees out. 1, 2, 3. Bottom of the 8th. We go to the top of the 9th. Here is Derek Law. 6 2/3 innings pitched. His ERA 1.35. Good stamina, good stuff. Good movement, good control. His stamina is only a 7, so if the Yankees get in a jam, they might need somebody else to close the door for them. Lucroy, the first Kansas City hitter. Base hit to center. So the A's get something going here in the ninth. And they're going to come up to the pitcher spot. By the way, Howie Paulette was the pitcher we saw in the eighth, at least. Law facing Schulte, or Schultz. Lucroy to second, and we got Bryce Harper up as your new hitter for Kansas City. That's a good guy to have on the bench. And Bodie made the catch in left field. I had trouble seeing where that ball went to. Greg Jeffries to shortstop, over to first. Yankees win. No, I'm not going to say it. The Yankees win. 5-2. And that was a game on one of the Dodger off days. Okay, so that's how that went. And we're going to shut her down a little early because I want to look at the technical issues I was having. And like I said, I didn't know until about 20 minutes until I started the stream. I know this is my trouble, not yours. The Streamlabs OBS setup that I usually would use wouldn't work for just a Twitch only stream. So I thank you very much for your patience with me this evening. This very first episode of Random Acts of OOTP. We will try to get it better the next time. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. Or at least, now that's who I am on YouTube. I am TB Paulie on Twitch, but I'm the same guy. I'm the same guy everywhere I go. Godspeed and God bless. Thank you all so much for dropping by, either on Twitch or a day from now on YouTube or on the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims Facebook. I'm all over the place. Thank you all for tuning in, and we're going to do it all again next week here on Twitch. Bye-bye for now, everybody.